Welcome to Financial Coffee Talk with Shane Amy and Shane Swearingen, your planning duo from Shane and Shane Financial.
And welcome into Financial Coffee Talk with Shane and Shane Financial. Shane Amy, Shane Swearingen, your resource, ladies and gentlemen, for a common sense approach to planning. Shane and Shane, welcome back. Always good to see you. Today, talking about some moments, some opportunities that we have to have our money help us work a little harder toward our financial goals, and the report and resource that you have of the 8 moments to move your money.
Yep. Thanks, Peter. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday. Indeed. Shane Swearingen, one of these in particular we wanted to bring attention to because it may be one of the best opportunities and the least well-known opportunities to take control and determine our retirement. The in-service age 59 and a half distribution is a pretty critical milestone for savers and investors.
Yeah, I was just at an event a few weeks back, and I was surprised by the number of folks that were unaware of the 59 and a half rule. With that being said, the in-service withdrawal at 59 and a half allows us that are near that age to, or have reached that age to go and get control of the assets. So if you have money in a 401k, 403b, other employer plans, we now have access to go in and get control of that money and invest it in things that otherwise wouldn't be available to you inside of your 401k plan. So there's a lot of folks not aware of that. So I'd urge you to understand all the rules and availability of your money that you do have.
And Shane Amy, it's my understanding that this opportunity actually was not that widely available prior to the Great Recession. What was it during the Great Recession that increased the availability and the prevalence of this age 59 and a half milestone and in-service distribution?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but if I had to guess, I'd probably say liability. So before that time period, companies were not considered fiduciary. So they were not personally held liable or had any sort of, relevance or implications if something went right or wrong in your 401k. You could pretty much invest in anything you want. And it wasn't too bad. Fees were probably a little bit higher. I don't know. It's been so long ago, but post the event, companies could be held liable. And so, basically when that happens, if you've ever looked at your 401k, you probably see like a handful of options. Most of them start with, a year far into the future, 2060 fund or 2040 fund. And they're basically just dogs of mutual funds. They're just bad. And basically it's because your employer is now a fiduciary. And they can be held liable. And so when that happens, being the amazing companies that most of them are, they would rather take them not getting sued and give you less options that you have. And so one of those little back doors when you can get out, and I don't, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's, 59 and a half for sure. But I think a lot of companies, I know I just dealt with a couple clients recently, was able to get them out at 55. So depending upon your employer, I think you should check and see, but it would behoove everyone the moment that you hit the availability to get your funds out of your employer's plan, it's going to better serve you because, frankly, you have not a lot of good choices. Most of the choices are based around liability for your employer. They're certainly not based around performance for you. So I know 59 and a half for certain. We just did one with a local company in the Central Ohio region, a utility provider, and we were able to get them out at 55. But yeah, if you can get out, it would certainly behoove you to do so.
And back to you, Amy, that age 55, if someone is intending to retire early before the traditional 59 and a half milestone, that actually is another opportunity there altogether. Now, the in-service distribution, we're not necessarily talking about retiring early, but what you're talking about with 55, if somebody is intending to retire early, it's another opportunity there that we could maybe access some of those retirement dollars, correct?
Yeah, good point. Probably should make a distinction there. Yeah, so if you're employed and you plan on staying employed, you got to be liable to the 55 or the 59 and a half rule. That's just how it is. But if you're separating service or if you're leaving service and you're 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, you can have access to your funds. You can roll it over. Basically just going to switch your 401k into an IRA. And then, you would have all of the things that that we could bear, or whoever your current advisor, planner, broker is, even if they're not Shane and Shane, I'm sure their options are going to be a little better than where you're currently at. So yeah, so separate service, you can roll your money out, stay employed, check with your employer. You might be able to get out at 55, but you can for sure get out at 59 and a half.
Well, whoever they are, hopefully they are aware and bringing this to your attention. Otherwise, that just may be the tip of the iceberg on important opportunities that you could be missing. Now, Shane Swearingen, with the age 59 and a half in-service distribution, a couple critical notes on this. This is not a taxable event to take control of those 401k dollars. It does not mean you have to pay tax on all of them. And if you continue employment, you can continue contributing and taking advantage of the 401k in the match.
Absolutely. It gives you the best of both worlds where you can get better control. You can have a wider selection of options outside of your 401k typically that could be more retirement planning versus just being stuck in a 2030 retirement fund per se. And then on the flip side of it, yes, you're right. If you do decide to withdraw some funds, even if you take all of them out, you can still continue to contribute to your 401k, get the match and all the stuff that you had before. But again, just kind of speaking to the general terms of retirement, these rules are probably subject to change again. We've seen it with RMDs that went from 70 and a half. Now they're up to 73 years of age and are probably going to continue to shift. You just got to pay attention. So whenever you need access to your money or you're thinking about retirement, that's why Shane and I are here to help guide these conversations when it comes to that situation. Another thing that we do see with in-service withdrawals is the ability to now do some Roth conversions. Typically, you're not going to have that ability with the employer to do that, but that's a big thing for our clients is to start to convert them out of their taxable accounts. So again, having the flexibility and the freedom sure makes a heck of a lot of sense in our opinion.
Yeah, all about the opportunities to control variables, to control taxation, to control market risk. That's what this critical milestone, just one of the 8 moments to move your money, the age 59 and a half in-service distribution is all about. If you'd like the full list of all 8 of these critical moments to identify if it is a moment or an opportunity or maybe advantageous to make a proactive move with your money. And by the way, not all of them involve whole relocation of assets. Some of these, like rebalancing, might happen just right within the account, but they're all important for you to identify. And if you would like them, just get in touch with Shane and Shane Financial. You can go to shaneandshanefinancial.com. Finally, Shane, Amy, not that we are, but if we might see a market downturn, and we never want to do that, but especially not close to retirement, that's another one of the reasons why this in-service distribution or taking control of old 401ks and consolidating them may be very advantageous rather than just leaving them in those company provided options.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this we learn from past mistakes. And so if you're close to retirement, and I guess when I say close, I mean, if you're within a few years, you're the most vulnerable to market downturns. If you've been retired for 5 years or more, you're just going to ride it out like you've done every other recession. But if you're about to retire or you're thinking about retiring, you got to be careful. And inside of most of these 401ks, I mean, maybe you have some sort of a fixed account or some sort of ultra low paying stable value fund. Other than that, you're at risk and you need to pay attention to that sort of stuff. I think I'm of the opinion, that yield curve sort of inverted. I'll get off the subject a little bit, but basically, like, my personal recession indicator happened in March. And so I think over the next 6 months, you need to be cautious. You don't need to be scared. You don't need to change things. But if you can get out of your 401k and you can get it to some place where an advisor can be a little more nimble on your behalf, and you've got an opportunity here if the market checks down or we hit a mild recession, you can really take advantage of that. So just take a team approach. It sort of pays to have a team around you, and especially when you're about to sort of enter sort of halftime, and then the second phase of your life here, which is retirement. So just be cautious and have somebody there that that knows the rules and that can help you navigate navigate all this stuff.
Be aware of, take a look at taxes, fees, risk, and that's what these 8 moments to move your money really are all about. Again, if you'd like to have that list of these 8 moments or identify if you may be encountering one, give Shane and Shane Financial a call or visit online shaneandshanefinancial.com, 888-300-3811, 888-300-3811 to reach Shane and Shane Financial, 888-300-3811 or shaneandshanefinancial.com. Gentlemen, always a pleasure to talk with you both, and I appreciate the time and knowledge to help improve our financial outlook and path forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Peter. Appreciate it.
The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes.
Fee-based financial planning and investment advisory services are offered through Truvestments Capital, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.